Hello, my fellow photographers. Today I'm here to talk about what's best for your photography business. And in this discussion, I'm going to talk about should you, as a photographer, hire an editor? So I'm going to give you the pros and cons of hiring or not hiring an editor in this video. So let's get into today's discussion. And before we do, if you have not already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It is free for you to do so, and it helps me provide more and better content to you in the future. So now let's get into this topic. Should photographers hire an editor? Before I get into the pros and cons, I want to let you know that every person and every photographer is going to be different. So I want you to listen to each of the pros, each of the cons, to see how each of these weigh for you. And obviously they're going to be different than me, but it's definitely something you have to consider if you are possibly thinking about getting an editor. So the first pro is that it saves time. If you have a lot of different commitments that are not just photography related, maybe a full-time job, maybe a part-time job, maybe you travel a lot, do social events, you work out, have YouTube channels. If you have all those things and your photography business, you know you're going to have to start taking something off your plate. Otherwise, you're going to get tired and stressed out and burnt out. You don't want that. So hiring an editor for your photography business allows you to save time so you can push that editing on someone else, and you can do other things in that spare time, like maybe take a nap. The next pro is that you get to specialize in what you love. If you're a photographer, I really hope that is something you're very passionate about. That's something I love. It's something I am passionate in working in, which is why I have my photography business. But if you're like me, I love photography. I love going out and composing the photos, whether with people or without people. But when it comes to editing, yes, I'll do it, but it's not what I love to do. And you should always love what you do. Like Kobe Bryant said,
that's how important it is to love what you do.
You're gonna do the photography and work on those photos and work with clients or photograph those landscapes, and that editing is gonna be done by someone else. So you could take away the part of the process that you may not really like by hiring an editor. Now, the last pro I want to mention is that you're able to do more photo sessions, more photo shoots when you hire an editor, because you're saving time and you're doing what you love to do. Therefore, when you hire the editor, you have more time to potentially book more photo sessions with clients, or going out and doing your actual photography projects that you've been wanting to do, or just going out and playing with the camera and taking photos of the city landscape or something. You have more time to actually do photography and do more shoots, which could lead to more income for your business as well. So the three pros again are you save time, you do what you love, and you get more photo shoots. Now let's move on to the cons. So the first con, that is probably the most obvious con, is that when you hire an editor, what does that mean? More money out of your pocket. So you're gonna have more costs for your photography business when you hire an editor. And editor costs can vary across the board. It also depends on how much editing they're doing to each photo. If they are really manipulating a photo, it's going to cost more than just doing a simple retouch. If you're hiring from certain markets, so maybe you're hiring someone from California in comparison to someone, I don't know, in India or something, it's going to be a completely different market because the cost of living in California is outrageous, okay? So you have to keep in mind the cost when looking for an editor, and make sure you do your vetting between price. Don't just go book the person that costs 50 cents per photo or something for editing. Make sure you do your due diligence and test out editors before deciding on the one based on your budget. The next con that you need to consider is that you will have to raise your prices if you hire an editor. So when you hire an editor, obviously that's more cost per shoot for you to spend on a shoot. Therefore, you need to raise your prices to cover that cost, which also may lead to you losing different clients, advertising differently. It's definitely something you have to play with. So you're definitely gonna have to find an editor that works within your budget and works to the point where you don't need to raise your prices as much, so you can keep your same client base. And the last con you have to consider is that The editor may not edit in your style, but this is where you're going to do the due diligence. You're going to go out before you decide on the editor. You're going to try different editors out, try to get a testing phase with them to do maybe 1 or 2 photos for you so you can see how they edit. Luckily, the editor I have found, they are able to look at my notes. I give them notes on each photo saying, I want these things done. If you can't do them, let me know. And they will go and do it. And it is based on my style. But I did try out maybe 3 or 4 editors before I found the one I currently work with. So that is something you have to be considerate of, because you want the photos to still represent you and your work. You don't want the photos manipulated to the point where you didn't even know you took the photo anymore. You don't want the photo to look like, that it has been overly edited or something like that. So you definitely have to be cautious of who you hire to edit your photos so it still looks like your work at the end of the day. So that was my video on the pros and cons on if photographers should hire an editor. And obviously for me, I hired an editor. I talked about it a little bit earlier because for me, it does save me time. Before, it was taking me so much time to edit, plus my computer was going bad. It was taking me so much time to edit. Now I can just do the light editing, do the cropping, and send the selected photos from the client to the editor, and I go about my day. I can book more appointments. I wasn't able to book as many appointments before, and I'm able to focus on other things that I enjoy. Yes, it did raise my cost as a photographer in my business, but I took that cost and included it in to my pricing model for my photo shoots. So review these different pros and cons. If you're thinking about hiring an editor for your photography business, think about each of these. And to recap, the pros and cons. The pros, it saves you time, you can focus on what you love, and you get to do more photo shoots. But on the other hand, the cons are more cost, raising the prices for your potential clients, and different editing styles. So review each of these pros and cons and see which one outweighs the other to kind of help you decide if you need to hire an editor for your photography business. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that like button. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. It helps me provide more and better content to you in the future, and it is free. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. If you have any questions about this video, please leave them down below in the comment box, but keep it classy. Make sure you share this video with your friends, family, and social media networks, because you never know who may be thinking about hiring an editor for their photography business. And if you would love to support my photography business, you can head on over to keytoexplore.darkroom.com to purchase yourself a print to decorate your space or a friend's space. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night wherever in the world you are. Bye.